Here we are at the 100th anniversary gala of the Cleveland Baseball Federation, and with us we have Nobby Lewandowski, who is a past professional baseball player with the Cleveland. I'm going to start over again. Here we are at the 100th anniversary of the Cleveland Baseball Federation, and with us we have Nobby Lewandowski, who is a professional baseball player with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, do you have any coach that you can think of in your past that played a major role in your character development, or were there any traits they had that really stood out?
Well, when I was in Benedictine High School, I had a football and a baseball coach named Mr. Augie Basu. And I think Mr. Basu had the greatest influence upon me and many, many athletes. Mr. Basu went to Mass and Holy Communion every day. And if he was ever really angry, he would say, "Hell's bells." And if Mr. Basu said, "Hell's bells, look out, you're going to do 50 push-ups or you're going to run laps." He just transcended all generations. He was at Bennington from 1953, and he was the varsity football coach until 1996. He's in the High School Football Hall of Fame with about 360 high school football victories. And so I credit an awful lot of the success which I have as a businessman, as an individual who lives his life the way that you ought to live your life. Live your life by your word. If you say somebody, you shouldn't have to have a legal document backing it up. So at Benedictine with Mr. Basu, he used to speak a lot about the word integrity. And if we, as adults, if we can just install this in the young people, like the people leading us did, your whole world will be a lot better off.
Now, you do leadership conferences or speeches. Last year you did 39. Is that the major message that you try to get across to people, or is there something else?
Well, what I make an effort to say is whatever we want to do, we will find a way to do it. Anything that we do not want to do, we will make an excuse. And it's much, much easier to make up an excuse. When I was at Kent State University, where I went, and I was the first baseball scholarship, my very, very good friend was an individual who you may have heard of by the name of Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz, if you ever heard him speak, speaks with a lisp, and obviously I have a speech in impediment. And they used to say to the both of us, "How are you two guys going to ever make a living? You can't even speak." And when we're with each other now, we just say, "I wonder where those people are," because they made a judgment on the both of us based on the way we speak, and they never took a few extra seconds to look what was within us, which would make us hopefully real good people and successful business people.
That's beautiful. It's very, very true. Now, the Cleveland Baseball Federation, you really have a passion for this organization. What do you think is the most important thing that this federation does, or is there anything that really just stands out that you can think of right away?
Well, I began pitching in a baseball league when I was 14 years old. And I pitched in it off and on, other than when I was in professional baseball, until I was 34 years of age. All the friends I have made in this here organization is the main reason I've been on the board, and I make an effort to help any way I'm able to, because we as adults are able to have a tremendous effect upon young people if we just make a commitment and give an effort versus throwing our arms up in the air saying efforts are in vain. Well, efforts aren't in vain because there were there were people when we were youngsters, elementary school and high school, that made an absolute commitment to make us better people. So we have a responsibility to pay back and make an effort to help others.
And as a mother of 3 young little kids, it's so true. It's so true. Oh, well, Mr. Lewandowski, thank you very much for having this interview with us.
Thank you for letting me speak about something I have a real passion for. And in these speeches I make at these here high schools and at universities, I just ask, if every job paid the same, what would you want to be? And if these here real young people find something which they have a passion for, that they can become tremendously successful, maybe not as successful from a financial aspect, but a successful individual. Because as a CPA, I had a 38-person CPA firm, and I have found over and over that the happiest people aren't the ones that have the most of everything. They're the ones that make the best of everything. So that takes you into family life, home life, values, etc., on and on and on.
Those are words we can all use.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me here.